You are listening to This is Oklahoma, hosted by Mike Hearn, telling stories of Oklahomans and those that have made it their home.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to an episode of This is Oklahoma. Mike Hearn here, host, back with another episode. Excited to share this episode with you today, but before we do, huge shout out to our sponsors. The Oklahoma Hall of Fame have been sharing Oklahoma's story through its people since 1927. For more information on the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, go to www.oklahomahof.com. And for daily updates, go to oklahomahof on Instagram and give them a follow. Our other sponsor today is the Chickasaw Nation. Now, the Chickasaw Nation have sponsored pretty much everything in Oklahoma. They're a huge supporter of Oklahoma. And it's an honor to have their name and their brand supporting this podcast. So a huge shout out to Governor Anatoby for supporting this podcast. It really means a lot. This episode is brought to you by the Doghouse OKC. Recently, I have been in need of some doggy daycare for my two pups, and the Doghouse have come in clutch. The team over there are incredible. They've taken care of my two golden doodles, and so it's been an honor to partner with them on the podcast and share the love. Adding to that is the Doghouse, and so if you're in need of doggy daycare in the day or boarding overnight, they do grooming and other cool things too, but I've had a fantastic experience, and it's an honor and a privilege to share this with you too. So go to thedogHouseOKC.com and follow them on Instagram at thedogHouseOKC, and hopefully our pups will run into each other.
What's up, mate?
What's going on?
He's back. Thanks for coming back on the podcast. Excited to be here. It is, it's almost, is it exactly a year to the day since you made your debut? This was it, last year, right?
Yeah.
We didn't talk about that debut because you jumped in, made it here, family came up, pro debut, and then that was the wild ride. You're on the road.
Yeah.
How was the debut? How'd it go?
Not as I expected, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, it definitely kicked my butt, but that's what we got to talking about it just yesterday, and I'm ready to actually set it off this year.
Okay.
Got the first year jitters out of the way, and I'm definitely ready to kickstart it off.
Because I think last year you almost had a full ride.
Yeah.
Right? It was like 7 point something.
Yeah, it came down to me for a half a point to win the team deal.
Yeah.
And 7-9-1 or something.
I think I remember getting in here early because we were sitting around here and you walked by and I was like, oh, I called you over, and I mean, you're here all day, you're here all weekend. We're just talking about now, this place seems, when you're sitting here, it feels massive, or it doesn't, but take us through it, man. It's something that, you've grown up doing this your whole life. You've been going small town rodeos. You're in arenas now. How does that feel? What's it like? Is it different? Is the dirt different? Like, you can nerd out on this stuff. This is your world.
I mean, this is like, this is the top of the line. This is, if you're a bull rider as a kid, like, looking back at it right now, it like gives me goosebumps thinking about it, Yeah. It's a dream come true to be up here and to be getting on the best bulls in the world and doing it with all my buddies. Like, it's crazy to look back and see how far I've come and how far bull riding's brought me, and the many places it's took me to,
Yeah.
It's crazy.
How's Darla?
Oh, Darla's great.
You have her with you?
Yeah, she's sleeping in the room right now, actually. Yeah.
Tell people who Darla is for those that don't know.
So Darla is my 3-year-old Jack Russell. I've had her since she was 6 weeks old, and we have been rodeoing since she was 6 weeks old. I picked her up and we went straight to Florida, and she's never looked back since.
Never had any trouble getting her into hotel rooms?
Yeah, I mean,
Sneak her in the
sometimes,
bag.
but I mean, you throw her on my, I just tell her to get on my gear bag, and people are all so amazed that she just jumped on my gear bag. They don't even really say nothing about her, So, I mean, it usually works out.
Yeah. Having something as simple as a little dog on the road with you must do you wonders as far as, like, getting back in the room and separating mindset and everything. Just being like, I'm just going to chill with my dog and watch a movie.
Yeah, I mean, she don't say nothing back ever, She's never going to gripe. All she wants to do is just sit there and be around, And it's really cool to have her and get to go everywhere with her, because, I mean, not very many people get to do that.
Yeah.
She's been more places than some people ever will in their entire life. And it's It's pretty cool. She picks up on everything so quick. It's pretty crazy, really. Yeah. She's like a little human.
It's so awesome. And you're on the road all the time, like you said. She's been to places that not many people get to go to. What has it been a big transition into the pro stuff on the road, or is it something that just the venues are different, but the travel's always been the same? What has that been? Does that change, or is that normal?
Well, I mean, the pro rodeo deal, you're traveling, driving everywhere.
Okay.
So I mean, it's a totally different ball game. From the bulls to the cameras to the travel to everything. It's like it's just a whole step above than the PRCA is, I feel like. I mean, you fly to every single event, dang near, and I mean, you got cameras in your face 24/7, watching your every move. I mean, it was a little nerve-wracking for me last year, to be honest. Like, I didn't know what to think about that. I've never had that, and now looking back at it, I wish I would have just took a step back and been like, all right, listen, it's all good. It doesn't matter if there's cameras or not. You still got to go do the same thing, you know?
Yeah, that's your big adjustment your first year, right? Is getting in and learning,
just getting settled, I feel like, I feel like the bull riding deal is about comfort. I mean, you not comfort necessarily, but just confidence. When you're around people that you don't get that little, weird feeling like, oh.
It settles you, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
When you're settled in, I don't want to say comfortable because, I mean, in bull riding you can't be comfortable. But, yeah, it's nice to know everybody and to be settled in.
You have, one of the greatest bull riders of all time, if not the greatest bull rider of all time, as your coach. And I know previously when we've talked, you've mentioned the experience you had in the hospital when you were both in the hospital together. You feel sorry for yourself, and JB comes by and he's like, come on, let's get coffee. Wait a second. Yeah. What's it been like having him for a year? Obviously, you're learning so much, you're going through, but you're also developing, your own mindset and your own, ways to do your job with all the noise and the cameras, but you gotta ride that bull. So what's it been like from having JB as a coach and getting to be with him pretty much all year?
I'd say like the way he just acts around the camera and stuff, he just expresses it, like he's not just gonna shy down to a camera or something. He's gonna go right up to it, and I feel like he just has fun, and that's, at the end of the day, that's what it takes to make it, really. And I mean, he's so dedicated to whatever he's doing, you know what I mean? Like, at the time, bull riding and stuff, obviously, he showed everybody he was dedicated to that. But now that he can't get on bulls and nothing like that, like, the team and getting on bulls and bucking bulls, I could call him right now. Like, say this event wasn't going on, I could call him right now, and I could drive down there to Stephenville, and he would have bulls loaded. Like, and that's what I think is so cool, is he wants to better other people coming up, and he's trying to keep the sport going, and that's really, really cool. And getting around him and seeing his attitude towards the sport, I mean, he has watched this sport and actually paid attention to it. That's what a lot of people don't really think he pays attention to it like he did, but he could break a bull ride down further than anybody I've ever known. From, like, he was telling me the other day, well, if you would have drove your hips right here, wouldn't have dropped you this way. And I'm like, wow, I didn't even realize that until you just said that. Like, that was, just like the little tiny things that he pays attention to that he's not going to tell you unless you ask. If you ask, he's willing to do whatever, and that's I'd say the coach coming out in him, I guess. I don't really know.
Yeah, because his whole persona is just like, you wouldn't, like you said, he's not going to tell you unless you ask. Yeah. And a lot of people don't want to ask him or don't like to ask him because of the aura, the thing that he puts off, right? Because he's like, I'm tough, I just go do it. Yeah. but clearly there's a technical level in him that is greater than
Oh yeah.
pretty much everybody. But I guess the coach in him has the ability to break it down so that everybody can understand it, because that's the hard part.
Oh,
the
for
skill
sure.
of doing that.
For sure. And I mean, it's hard to break down. I mean, everything's going really fast in there, you know? And he breaks it down and slows it down to where you can kind of understand it, and it's more comprehensible, you know? And even for someone that doesn't know bull riding, he could break it down to them and they could think they could go ride a bull, you know?
Yeah, it's, and you see him in interviews, and he always, we talked about this previously when you were on the podcast last year, it's like, you've got to be tough, right? And it's always, just tough mindset, tough everything, which is really hard to hear sometimes when you're coming up. You're like, what does that mean? Right? What does that mean? Like, mentally all there, yes, my body's going to hurt, toughness that way, but it's all of it.
Yeah.
But then you get to ask the question of diving into all the intricate details, and then that toughness just, yes, it's mindset, but that's maybe how it starts. But it comes from so many other things.
Oh, for sure. I mean, that we got to talking the other day, and there's not very many cowboys left in the sport. It's becoming where you're an athlete. If you ride bulls, you're becoming an athlete, and that's where JB and I feel like all of our guys are cowboy, are tough, try. I mean, and that's what he said. He's going to put a team together that's going to try, and try beats talent every day.
Yeah.
And you got to work at it, and that's what he said. He said, I don't care what y'all do. I don't care what it takes to stay on your bulls. I mean, you could go do jumping jacks or sit-ups or run stairs. I don't care what you do. Just make sure you get your stuff done, and we'll have a great time and go win. And I feel like he put a group of guys together this year that's all willing to win.
Yeah.
And ready to.
Well, after your first year, what are you excited to take into this year, and what if, things that, is there any venue that you're really looking forward to? Obviously the home venue, but is there anything as far as a venue or mindset, or what stands out to you of like, okay, this year I'm just gonna, I've got my first year out the way, I've learned everything I can learn in my first year, and now I'm excited to get after it and
just go have fun.
have fun.
I feel like I put so much pressure on myself last year to prove myself, that I kind of just got myself stuck in a same cycle. And this year I'm just gonna let it all hang out. Just go have fun. I mean,
Yeah.
there's just got to let it all hang out, really.
How's your golf game?
So I went and played the other day, and I think I shot like a 84.
Okay, it's not bad.
So yeah, that's like the first time I played in 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
So I mean, it wasn't too bad.
Are you hopefully gonna play later today?
Yeah, me and Court, we were talking about it. He brought his golf clubs too, so
Okay.
we're gonna try to go and play
Yeah.
sometime this week.
Have you teed it up with anybody on the team other than Court? I mean, Brandon can play every now and then. if he
See, and
wants to.
we've been talking.
He talks a lot, though.
Oh yeah, for
Right?
sure, for sure.
But
He was
Taylor,
talking.
obviously.
He was
Yeah.
talking just yesterday. We when we were shooting skeet, he brought his own gun, all kinds of stuff, and he shot like 15 skeet. JB can shoot some skeet now.
Really?
Oh, for sure, for sure. He shot 36 out of, I don't know how many we shot, but quite
Does
a
he
few.
shoot opposite shoulder? Because one of his shoulders has pins and rods in it, right?
No, he shoots.
He shoots.
Yeah,
Okay.
right on it.
He's like the robotic man with all
Yeah.
his bits in his arms. Yeah. Well, that's the cool thing. I think you guys, people probably don't realize. They see the bull riding, but they don't see the greater impact of what the team does when you travel to events.
Right.
You went down to Cedar Gate yesterday. You got a little bit of golf on the schedule. Back to what you mentioned earlier, there's all this media and all this noise and all this camera stuff. I can see how in your first year you weren't able to enjoy it because you're so much in your head and so much pressure on you.
Right.
But now through the schedule, you've got all these cool opportunities to kind of go and do media and shake hands and enjoy people, and then just kind of go shoot ski or go play golf.
Right.
Shoot some baskets in the NBA Finals Championship Arena.
Yeah.
Before they put the dirt in, whatever it is. Like, looking back, you're like, I should have had so much fun last year.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
excited for you this year because you're going to have a lot of fun this year.
For sure.
And
For
focus
sure.
on the bull riding. Seasons now till October, right? Finals are in October in Vegas. Other than your home state of Oklahoma City, where are you looking forward to going?
I'm gonna say probably Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a good time there last year and we went and played some really nice golf courses. And we had a really good time there. A bunch of people, I mean, everybody showed up. It was nice, sunny, not too hot, just right, you know.
The right time of the year to be down in Florida.
Exactly. So I think that's probably the one I'm looking most forward to.
Okay. Where's that on the schedule?
I want to say like the 4th or 5th event, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
September-ish.
Oh, no, it might be like the 3rd event. Because we go here, Atlanta, and then, Florida, I think. Yeah. So 3rd event.
What's your least favorite place to go to?
When it starts getting cold. There was a couple events last year, like where we had under t-shirts on, vest, tank, like freezing cold. Freezing. And I'm not about that. No? No.
Toes and hands get cold?
Toes and hands, and then you got a breeze coming through the arena.
Yeah.
Right behind the buck and shoots. Yeah, it's not for me. I do not like the cold.
Talking of buck and shoots, you mentioned before we started recording, it's a little different here. What's different?
So, usually you have 2 left-hand deliveries and 2 right-hand deliveries. So, now, with the team deal, there's a right-hand delivery and a left-hand delivery on each side.
Okay.
So it makes it'd be like cutting your arena in half almost, you know?
Yeah.
Because a bull coming out of a left-hand delivery off the other side, or a right-hand delivery, just depending on which side you're on, makes it closer to that fence. So, I mean, you say your bull spins 3 times, he's already in the fence, you know? So, I mean, it plays a part in it if a bull doesn't really know what's going on.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like they've never seen an arena like this ever in their life.
Yeah.
So I mean, once you get them in that pattern of running through an actual arena and looking at it, I mean, they buck and they're like, "Whoa, I've never seen this before." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, sometimes it messes them up, and sometimes it doesn't even phase them at all.
And you don't have any warm-ups. There's no practice runs here, right? That's what people who are listening that don't understand PBR, you know, when you're playing football or soccer or whatever, is you're a warm up, you know, where it could be horse riding too, right? There is a warm up somewhere.
Yeah.
Deep bulls are coming in, getting out fresh. Like, where am I? What am I doing? And then you're getting on that thing.
You know, they're athletes too. I feel like raising bulls too with my family. They're athletes, and we treat them like athletes. And I feel like they love their job. When they come in there, it's all game, you know. They're ready to do their job and go home. I mean, and it's crazy how far the bull deal has came actually since the PBR started.
Yeah.
I mean, the genetics, everybody running through genetics and stuff like that. It's just like the racehorse deal, you know. I mean, what was the racehorse that was in the Kentucky Derby? It was like a sire of all these horses. It was, and it's just crazy though to look and see how far and how ranked the bulls are getting now.
Yeah, it's and that's your family's been involved in that since you can remember, right? Like, that's getting into it. Talk of family. You mentioned earlier, your younger brother is getting in the horse side of things.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Did that make you happy? Is that he's not coming to compete with you, or would you like him to come compete with you one day? Maybe be a teammate.
I wish for sure that he would, but I tried to put him on some bulls, and it's just not. He got on some steers the other day, just us messing around roping at the house. He got on some, and he rode them actually, and then I was like, we started rolling some bigger steers in there, and he was not about it. But he has been working his tail off and really getting after it in the horse deal. Yeah, we have a guy just right beside our house, and they kind of took him in and just let him ride all his horses and stuff like that. And he's got a little barn, and he's got inside or outside horses coming in, and he's been doing really good for himself. It's pretty cool to watch.
Yeah. Is he your only sibling, or do you have more?
So I have a little sister, a little brother, and an older brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your older brother into?
Insurance.
He's the smart one.
Yeah, so he's not in the. I mean, he rodeoed and stuff when he was little, but me and my little brother are the only ones that just kind of kept it going.
Yeah. Bringing things back to here, home of the NBA champions. One, did you watch any of the games? And then two, who's your favorite? Do you have a favorite?
I definitely did watch the games, and I forget his name. What's the really tall guy on OKC?
Hardestein or Chet Holmgren?
I think it's Chet.
Dark hair, tall.
Yeah.
Not thick.
They're all dogs. Yeah. Every one of them are dogs, but yeah, I think he's probably my favorite.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did watch some of the games. I mean, we were rodeoing and stuff, so I couldn't watch them all, but we seen them win the Western Conference and then go in and just dominate. I loved it. We were watching a bunch of Taylor on there too. He was losing his mind on there.
He's
I loved it.
Courtside losing his mind.
I loved it.
Him and Ali at courtside like screaming their heads off. Which is exactly what you want from someone who's courtside, right? You know, and we've seen all these NBA games and someone sits courtside and they show no emotion and they just sat there watching the game. No. Yeah. You want someone there who's a true fan who's losing their mind.
For sure.
Obviously, and team owner, he's unfortunately Taylor is in Spain playing golf this weekend. Yeah. But do you have much interaction with, you know, obviously when he's in his off season? What's that like with your team? And also you got Preston and Brandon. The leadership group of the Wildcatters is stacked. You know, we did the event earlier in the year out at the Cowboy Museum. The panel was out there. From a kind of mentor perspective, not talking just bull riding, but business side of things, what has that been like to learn from Taylor, Preston, Brandon, and kind of JB and the leadership group out, you know, on the business side of the Wildcatters?
You know, no matter what happens, they're getting their stuff done, and I feel like I've taken that into, or trying to, you know. No matter what happens, you still have to get your stuff done, and you still have to show up every single day and try your ass off, you know what I mean? Like, it's just every single one of them put the work in and it proves it.
Yeah.
I mean, it shows. Taylor, hands down, put the work in. And he knows it. That's why he's going and doing great things, you know? Yeah. And to be on a team with all them guys, when you put us all together, I mean, it's a pretty tough group, you know? And this year we're going to get it all figured out, and I mean, we're gonna win a team championship, you know.
Yeah.
Like, that's what we're going after. That's what we've set our goals, and everybody believes it.
Yeah, it's awesome. Couple questions to finish up, fun ones. My world is the real estate world. If you were to build your dream house today, what does your dream house look like?
My dream house, not a big house, but it's gonna be. I'm gonna have a trophy room in there. Some cool stuff. Just a nice little, I don't know, 4-bedroom, just a little nice house. And then I want arena, barn. I want it decked out with all the cool stuff.
Okay.
Have some guest houses out there. Big old lake with some giants in there, giant bass. That's my dream house right there.
Yeah.
Boom.
Okay.
Put on a heel in Oklahoma.
All right. Biggest fish you've ever caught?
12.19.
12.19.
Yeah. Caught him. Yep.
Okay.
I bought a boat. 3 days later, I caught a 12-pounder out of it.
I'd quit. Sell the boat. Done.
Oh, it was
I can't
like,
beat that.
It was crazy too. I was there for 5 minutes. First spot I pulled up to, I seen her cruising, and it was during the spawn. Yeah. And I pitched up there on this little bed. There was a buck sitting there. Caught him first cast. And I'm like, oh, it's about to be on.
It's on.
And I sat there for 30 minutes messing with this fish, and then finally she bit.
Yeah.
And I broke off the first time. I set the hook on her, and then I caught her the second time she bit.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Love that.
Absolute tank. It was.
Where was that?
Lake Murray, just 10 minutes from my house.
Last question. It's July. Some people celebrate Christmas in July. I don't, but some people do. Best Christmas present you've ever had?
Best Christmas present I've ever had. You know, I got a bull rope for Christmas one time, and it was my first bull rope ever. Custom made bull rope, and I think that's probably my best Christmas present ever.
Awesome. Thanks for coming down.
Thanks.
Good luck this weekend.
Appreciate
I'll be
it.
out here. Family's going to be here screaming you on. 36 plus
Yeah.
people are going to be here screaming your name. That's awesome. We're in, the Paycom Center, home of the champions. You guys are going to do great this weekend and kick off the season and your home state. People listening, how do they find you? What's your Instagram? What's your socials? How can they follow you?
My Instagram is Kase Hitt 10. Just go out there and give me a follow.
There.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of This is Oklahoma. Mike and here, host, back with another episode. We got down at the Paycom Center, home of the NBA Finals champions, the Oklahoma City Thunder. Great pleasure to introduce return guest, legend, JB Mauney. JB, thanks for coming back, mate.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate
No
your time.
problem.
I know you're busy. I know you got a lot of obligations, so appreciate you fitting us in. What's it like coming to the Paycom Center when the NBA Finals was here and the NBA champions are from Oklahoma City? Are you a fan? Did you watch any games? Do you have a favorite player? How's that?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't watch anything but bull riding.
Why am I not surprised at all?
As any other sport, I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, that's life, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
From the time I was old enough to know how to put a VHS in the VCR,
Yeah.
I watched bull riding.
Yeah. Kase was just here. Kase said you guys went to Cedar Gate yesterday, did some
Yes, sir.
skeet shooting.
Yeah.
He said he was pleasantly surprised at how good you were at skeet shooting.
Oh yeah. He thought he was gonna put the smack down on everybody. I just had to show him up.
I did ask him, I said, do you shoot, I know you've got some metal in your body. Does that help you? Does that hurt you? I mean, he said it didn't, did pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I got a scar right there where the butt of that gun hits. I mean, it's sore today and bruised, but
Yeah.
it don't hurt while I'm doing it.
Do you have a gun collection back home? Or just
Oh,
never,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Got some
I'm,
prized possessions?
I've always had a bunch of guns. Jagger, my little boy, he always tell him, my safe, just let me look at him, Dad. And I'll open it up and he'll look at them, and I always tell him, I say, well, when you get old enough, all these guns will be yours. Oh, thanks, Dad.
How old is he now?
6.
6. This
Yeah.
blonde locks.
Oh, yeah.
Stealing hearts already.
Mm-hmm. That's what everybody asks. When you gonna cut his hair? I said, that's up to him too. It's his head, not mine. I tell him all the time when it's summertime and it's real hot and he's sweating, I was like, if you cut that hair off, it won't be near as hot. He's like, yeah. You want to get a haircut? No. Okay.
I have a feeling your wife will probably have something to do with it if you decide to cut his hair.
Yeah,
She'd probably be pretty
she's threatened me a few times when I go get my haircut, do not get his haircut. So,
How, talking about Jagger, how was that experience with Kid Rock, like earlier this year? You've got the big Cadillac, you two are driving around.
oh yeah.
How was that? That's Rockstar.
Yeah, he called me. He's like, here's what I'm thinking. He sent it, and he said, you want to do it? So I went up there, and the night before, and we kind of drove around, timed everything, and he said, bring Jagger, he can ride in it with us. Man, I got so much flack on the internet because of that, because I was drinking a beer, driving a car in an arena. And everybody's like, oh, where I'm from, that's a DUI or DWI. I'm like, I'm in an arena, and I'm driving like 2 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I was like, some people.
Yeah, the internet, right?
Oh, yeah.
The internet's gonna get you. The other, I had a friend who was one of Taylor's friends, Jake, mention. I texted him last night. I said he's a huge fan of yours, and I know you guys have met before. And he said, "Do you want me to ask JB anything?" And he goes, "Well, don't drink Jaeger with him if he asks you to do that." I said, "Absolutely not." He said, "He will drink you under the table, so I won't ask you to drink Jaeger with me." But he did say, which I know we've talked about this before, but how's Arctic Assassin doing? How's your pet doing?
Oh, he's good. Took somebody up there the other day and showed him.
Yeah.
He was standing across the pasture, and it takes a while to get him over there, but if he thinks you're going to feed him, he'll walk all the way across there, and he's very slow about it. He don't get in any hurry. But same as always, you can scratch all over him.
All right, so you're being awarded tonight, Ring of Honor, at the National Western Cowboy Heritage Museum, Cowboy Hall of Fame, which is what we call it. We're through your career and now stepping into the coaching side of things. You've won all these things, but how is it to have, recognition from the entire industry, have an award, be inducted into the Ring of Honor, and have this be in Oklahoma City, kicking off the season as well?
Oh, no, it makes for a busy week. I know that. The Ring of Honor, it's pretty special. My father-in-law was inducted into it, and to be in the same list as the guys that are already ahead of me is pretty special, but I haven't really thought about it. We've been doing so much PR for this event that somebody said, got your speech ready? I said, yeah, I'll figure it out when I walk up there.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah. I said, it'll be short and sweet, I promise.
Yeah, it's different, right? I mean, you're used to riding bulls and getting away from all the noise and having that be your getaway, and now your getaway is coaching and you know, bringing people down to Stephenville and hosting everybody. For people listening and watching that have never seen Bucktown, they don't know what it is. If we were all close our eyes right now, take us there. What's the smell? How does it feel? Why'd you build it? Like, what is Bucktown to you?
Oh, there's bulls everywhere all the time. I've probably got 40 head of bulls there right now at the moment. And I built it, I bought that place the end of 2020, and I hate having to borrow things or use other people's things, so I started building on it, and we set the arena up. That way, I wanted to have it to where I could work bulls, buck bulls, and never leave, and not have to go anywhere. And Randy Quateri, he's partners with me on it, and he come in. We built a platform all the way around the arena, one over the bucking chutes and everything. That was all his idea. So, like a video, and they can get anywhere, angles. We just finished getting lights put up, so now we can do it at night. And but yeah, I started out building it pretty much for me, just so I could practice there, work bulls there, and not have to go anywhere. And then, you know, ended up breaking my neck. Now it's led on to more things. So, you know, team guys, they'll come down and get on bulls. We'll have some jackpots every once in a while, you know, throw some money in there just to have a good time, video it. And I told them, I said, you know, I want it to be old school. When guys come here, they have fun. And so far, that's what we're doing.
Good. Keep it that way, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to get the noise and get all the, you know, the sponsors and all the money involved, and then things start going south. People can start having to sign contracts and do other stuff. But that's really cool to have, and then I'll probably, you know, like I said, something you didn't expect to have, but it's obviously playing a huge role now as a coach. You know, you made your debut here as a coach almost a year to the day. This place was loud, it was rocking, it was awesome, but how has that been for you now as a year later? You know, how have you evolved as a coach? Because rider and coaches totally do two different mindsets, right?
Oh, completely. You know, it was hard to go from being a bull rider to coaching, you know, and that's what Brandon Bates, he said, JB, no one's going to go at it like you did. And that's what's hard, because I was wired one way, and I only knew one way to go bull riding, and like in the back of my head, that's what I expected of everybody. And I realized that's not the case. You can't expect everybody to do it the way you did it. And figuring each guy out, learning things, that was kind of the harder, because I can be pretty hateful when it comes to riding bulls. And knowing what to say, when to say it, and how to say it, because I usually don't have a very good filter when it comes to riding bulls. So it was a learning curve. I kept my mouth shut a lot more than I usually would have, because I didn't know exactly how to say it to those guys. I only knew one way, and I knew it was going to hurt their feelings if I said it that way. So figuring all that out, you know, just getting used to it. And like last year, we were thrown together, you know, and so it kind of, in this year, it's more structured. We had a team camp. They came down. We got on bulls. All of us were there. We were all together, and so it's starting out way better this year than it did last year.
Yeah. Well, to that point, you know, you always rode the hardest, toughest bull you could find. It didn't matter, you know, if it hurt your potential winning world championship. You always rode the hardest. How's that been as a coach, being more, you having to be more strategic to kind of with the bulls with these kids, and you know, and they are kids to you, right? You know, and how's that side of it?
Oh, it's very hard.
Yeah.
My whole career, like if I was offered a re-ride, I took it, no matter where I was sitting, you know. And the first time we got the option for a re-ride, I remember Brandon was up on the people deal above me, and he was yelling to the top of his lungs at me, and I look up there and I said, I know. Because, you know, it's a team, so you got a score on the board. 99% of the time, if you ride 3 bulls out of 5, you're doing pretty good in that game. And so it's a score, not a 0, and that was probably the hardest decision because I wanted to say yes, take the re-ride so bad. Everything I believed in, the way I went about bull riding was wanting to say yes, just take the re-ride, and I had to say no. And I was like, man, I just swallowed all my pride.
Did it work out right, though?
Yes, it did.
Okay, well, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, if it would have went the other way, I'd have been pissed. But it worked out. But it was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do because I had to say no. We didn't want to re-ride, and my whole career was like, yes, because I never looked at the averages. Now I have to, and I never played the averages. All I always knew was if I win every day, then I win the event.
Yeah.
Then I win.
Yeah.
And so that was my goal. Every day it wasn't just trying to get a qualified ride and stack scores up. It was I tried to win every day.
Yeah. Yeah, that must have been so hard to just
It was.
It's not about me.
Inside my head was going like this, but on the outside I was like, and I just put my head down. And Kobe Yates, the coach for the Arizona Ridge Riders, he was laughing because he knew that it was hard for me to do. And I said, man, I turned around and told somebody, I said, I just swallowed every bit of pride I had. Like, saying no, because it just feels like you're accepting and not trying to.
Yeah.
But different strategy in this, and that's one thing I learned it. I'm getting there. Still hard to chew, but I'm getting there.
Yeah. With the team, 12 guys on the roster, only 5 you can put in. It's really hard to narrow down to that 5 when you've got such a stacked group of 12 like you have, and you've got great kids in from the from the draft and have more of a structured plan to go this year. What characteristic do you really want everybody in the team to have? And I know toughness is huge to you, but just if it is toughness, whatever it is, how do you describe that to your team? And this one trait, this one characteristic that you've seen in every great bull rider, whether it's your idols or yourself or now you're teaching, what is that one characteristic and how do you get that across?
No quit.
No quit?
Yeah. Everybody's tough. Everybody. I mean, that's just something. I've said that a million times. Everybody talked about how tough I was riding bulls. I'm no different than anyone else in this world. I just told myself I was, and I believed it. And no matter what, I always felt like I could still ride. And there was times I probably shouldn't have, and there was times it worked out. It's a double-edged sword. And, I never thought the what if. Everybody said, well, he's hurt already, and he's still trying to ride. He could get injured more. Well, I never looked at it that way. My mental game, I guess, was on point because I always had it in my head, no matter what, I could still ride them.
Yeah.
And, as long as you don't think about the negatives, the positives all you think about, then everything works out. But the no quit, you can see it. If you're watching that bull riding, guy gets a little out of shape, second, third, fourth efforts putting out, that's what I watch for. Guys that, when the going gets tough, they're not going to quit the shit.
Yeah. To that point, the little things getting out of shape. One thing that Kase mentioned that he was not shocked, but one thing that he's been learning from you is that the amount of detail, the amount of knowledge, obviously, that you have in bull riding. People see you, and without asking the right questions, they might just think you just get on, hold on as much as you can. But there's a lot of skill, intricate details. And he said the greatest thing that he's learned this year is to ask you great questions because you will tell him, but you're not going to tell him if he doesn't ask.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, how do you improve that as a way to make your team better, to not have to tell these kids, hey, to come to you to ask questions because you're JB. They're nervous around you, whatever it is. How is that in you to have to flick the switch to say, hang on a second, I'm going to come to you, which is something that you haven't done your entire life. But now as a coach, you have to.
I know.
How's that been?
It's a little hard. I know it's my job now, which makes it a little easier to do it, but I'm hesitant about it because, guys get to this level riding bulls, they're professionals. I should, and I guess I went about it like it surprises me. Guys get to this level and the amount of knowledge they don't know about it. That's all I ever studied my entire life. My entire life, day in, day out. I watched bull riding, I got on bulls, I worked at it every day of my life. And I can watch anybody get on a bull and I can tell you exactly what they do wrong. Just that fast. And, it was hard for me to just step up and just tell them what I thought they were doing wrong without them asking, because that's how it was my whole career. I never would say anything to anyone unless they asked. If they asked, I would tell them, but now it's kind of my job to tell them. And, Kase has been working at it really hard. From last year to this year, he's a different bull rider completely. And, I've told him things like he gets on at the house and rides out watched, and Kase rides bulls so good, sometimes it's too easy for him. He'll be sitting there dead perfect. Well, when you're not having to work at it, you think too much. You have time to think. And I told him, I said, when you get to that point to where it's that easy, I said, make it hard. I said, start spurring, start moving your feet. Make something where your body is not relaxed. I said, you have to keep doing it. I said, I was like that my whole career. I could get on a bushwhacker and do way better than if you put me on a little spinner that just, I knew what he was going to do because I had time to think. He'd sit there and spin. I'm just sitting there. All I had to do was sit there. But if you think about riding bulls, you're usually getting up off the dirt. You know, everything has to be a reaction, so I would have to make it hard for me on the nicer bulls, and that's the same way as he is. I said, make it hard. I said, if you're sitting there and you're riding them dead perfect and you're not having to move, I said, make yourself move. Keep moving to make your body, because you relax, you get bucked off.
Yeah. With the team stuff, I know we've spoken in the past, you keep it fun. There's always classic rock music playing.
Oh, yeah.
You're in the team room, you know, I think I remember you saying something along the lines of, you know, when you're walking through the team room and there's other teams everywhere, and you're like, we want to have the happiest, most fun, you know, excited team room, and that means to you, that means classic rock, which some of the kids have no idea what classic rock is anymore.
They want to listen to rap, but I can't understand what they're saying. So there's no point in listening to it. I don't know what the hell it's talking about.
As far as classic rock comes, do we have a favorite like band that you've seen live, or do we have a band that you haven't seen live that you could, if you could drop everything and go see, you would see tomorrow?
No, I've only ever been to a few concerts. First one I ever went to was Kid Rock's in Canada.
Yeah.
And I don't remember a whole lot of it. And you know well, pretty much. That's about it.
Yeah.
As an actual real concert, like, I never had time to do anything. If they were playing at an event and we were right there, I would go. But other than that, we didn't, you know, plan a trip to go to a concert anywhere. And, you know, I let them listen to kind of whatever they want. And I told them, I said, no rap, though. None of the old rap, I can listen to it. Yeah. The new rap, And, you know, I rode bulls because I loved riding bulls and it was fun. And as soon as you take the fun out of something, it becomes a job. And there's no bull rider in this world who wants a job. I promise. You know, that's why they rode bulls for a living.
Yeah.
And so I said, we're going to keep it like that. You walk by some of those locker rooms and them teams are sitting in there, you hear a pin drop in there. And I'm like, how's that fun? You know, I want them to be relaxed and just having fun. Because as long as you're having fun, you're doing what you love. And it's fun. It's not a job.
Well, and you're on the road so much, right? You're traveling. You're either in the trailer or you're in a hotel, and you know, families coming in. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. You've all this noise around you. You know, you're right. If you're not having fun, I think that. And back to Kase, that's kind of what he said this year. Is his goal is to have fun.
Yeah, I had to tell myself throughout my whole career. I had to go back. I'd always have to tell myself, you know, just it's fun. I've told a lot of guys when they're getting in the bucking chute, hey, you know, that if they've been riding bad or, you know, in slumps, I'd always tell them, hey, remember one thing, what? It's fun.
You get to do this for a living.
Yeah. I mean, most people wake up in the morning and hate going to their job. And I said, I loved every day of it. Whether I was beat all to hell, something was broke, or I was just wore out, it was still fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's, when you're a kid, right, and you're growing up, you know, like, you know, and you always hear a granddad or a dad or someone around you say, you know, if you find something you love to do, you never work a day in your life. Right? That classic quote. There's a lot of people that would look at you and think you're insane about riding bulls.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, only you guys are the select few that know that feeling, and whether it slows down completely and that 8 seconds takes forever, or you close your eyes, you're holding on because you're like better out of shape. This one's not going well.
If you're out of shape, then it seems like it takes 10 minutes for that whistle to blow. If you're right where you need to be, everything just rock and rolls like sitting in a rocking chair. Everything just smooth and rolls right on through, and next thing you know, the whistle blows and you step off. And then some days it's like, oh, just blow already.
On the other side, a lot of people out there know your great banter and your friendship with Dale. Tell me about that. How's that? How did that come about? And then also, so you guys met Cameron Haynes. So what's it like being around someone like Cameron Haynes, who clearly is a huge example, and his sons, too, are a huge example of being tough and never quitting?
Well, the first time I was around Cameron really was a couple weeks ago in California. We were there for a movie and stuff, and it was pretty cool getting to sit down and do a podcast with him because it's funny. No matter what sport or what you do, the mindsets are a lot alike. You know, you talk to guys that are really good in their sport, and then something that, you know, just like that, that's so far apart, but the mindsets are the same. You know, and that's the one thing I've tried to tell them guys, like, you know, when they're getting on bulls, it's all like you have to have it in your head.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I don't know if I was wired different, I always had that mindset. I never told anybody, I didn't try to act cocky, but I had it in my head that there was a bull that couldn't throw me off, and no matter what, I could still ride him. Hurt, didn't matter. And figuring out now that I'm retired and looking at some guys, you can just tell by the way they carry themselves where their mental game's at. And, you know, if they're got a little pep in their step, they're ready to rock and roll. If they kind of sluggish around, you know, it's all has to do above your shoulders. You know, everybody's like, well, you got to work out. You don't have to do none of that. I never worked out a day in my life. I weigh 145 pounds and never seen the inside of a gym. And so just...
But you rode every day. That was your thing. You rode every single day.
I was always in riding shape,
Yeah.
no matter what. That's what I've told those guys. I said, there's a difference in being in shape and going to that gym and being in riding shape. I said, you know, there's guys that's had surgeries and come back and they get on a couple bulls here and there and they're like, oh, I said, but you're not in riding shape. I said, there is a difference. There's a difference in a man that goes to the gym and is in shape and riding shape. I said, that's a big difference. Because I promise you can go to the gym all day long and you will never touch a muscle that you use riding bulls.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's kind of, a lot of people say that about golf too. I'm a golfer. Obviously, Taylor is a huge golfer. Brandon sometimes plays. He says he's good. I haven't seen him swing a club yet.
He's not very good at skeet shooting.
He's not good at I heard that too. You know, it just, and I guess we could look at all sports, like doing the sport. You know, you're clearly using those muscles versus just like going to the gym and lifting weights. And yeah, they're targeted, but you're never going to get as good a job by swinging a club or riding a ball.
That's what I've drilled into these guys' heads. You know, they've got barrels now, drop barrels to mimic bull riding practice on. I said, that's just to help minor things, critique, style, form, you know, stuff like that. I said, the only real practice you can get is getting on bulls, no matter what. I said, golf player, baseball player, what do they do all week? They practice at their trade. And I said, getting on that barrel is not going to help you as much as getting on live bulls. Yeah. And that's why I would get on all the time, because everything was reaction. I got on so much at home and during the week and practice, and once I got to the event, I was in riding shape. I didn't have to think about anything. You know, everything just snapped and clicked.
Reps, all the reps. When we did the first podcast, when you made the announcement, you and Brandon came on the podcast February last year, I think it was. I asked you a question on what your favorite road snack is, and you said cheese Danish.
Yeah,
Has that changed?
No.
Okay.
I still like
Where's the
cheese
best
Danish.
one? Where have you found the best one on the road?
I don't know, man. I'm not. My wife's pretty organic, and she does not agree with a lot of things I eat. I have to hide from Jagger so he won't eat it.
She the chef of the family?
Oh, yeah. I can cook, but my grandma taught me how to cook, but I don't have to because she cooks so good.
When was the last time you cooked?
Nah, I don't know. She went to a wedding, or she went somewhere, one of her friends' weddings, and Jagger and I stayed at the house, and I cooked him some chicken, grilled some chicken and stuff, and I can cook if I have to.
Okay.
But 99% of the time I don't have to. She always cooks.
Tell me about learning how to cook for your grandmother. That's, you know, something that some of these kids growing up now don't get that experience of being around grandparents, especially cooking. You know,
my family, they were kind of, for sure, my grandpa and my grandma, they were like old school. It was 3 meals a day she cooked, breakfast, lunch, dinner. And they had beef cattle. They, you know, cut their own hay, rolled their own hay, things like that. And, I mean, they stuck me on a tractor when I was probably 7, 8 years old, and I was raking hay, tethering hay, out there working all day. Well, you know, I mean, it's 3 meals a day my grandma cooked every day. So, you know, I would go over there. That's my parents' house was way back off the road. So, and they left a gap between the pasture fences. And I'd ride my dirt bike from my parents' house to my grandma's house. And that's where I got on the school bus and got off the school bus because it was closer to the road. And, well, I just would get in there and hang out with her and watch you know, and she pretty much taught me how to cook, which I didn't pay attention probably as much as I should have. But, you know, I can do it if I have to.
Okay.
But, yeah, I mean, it was 3 meals every day she cooked.
That's awesome. Old school. I love
Yep.
it. A couple of questions to finish up. Some people celebrate Christmas in July, so I'm going to ask you this question. What's the greatest Christmas present you've ever received?
Oh, heck, I don't know. It's hard. My wife will tell you, it's pretty hard to buy for me because usually, like, if I have
Cigarettes and a Coke?
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, that's what all my buddies, they'd give me a carton of cigarettes. And it's hard to buy for me, though, because she's like, well, you have everything. And if I need something, I don't say anything to anybody. I just go get it, you know. And, you know, things have changed a lot now since I've working bulls every day. You know, I buy more tools and stuff like that than I do anything else. And so we really don't, I mean, I feel like I'm a good present giver. She'll tell you I am. Like, I didn't know anything about Louis Vuitton. First
You do
time.
now?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's got it going on, too. Gosh, damn. The first time I ever went in one of those stores, I mean, I'd been working bulls. I had mud boots on. It'd been raining. Dog had chewed up the top of one of the mud. It took them about 15 minutes to even say anything to me because I'm pretty sure they thought I was going to try to steal something. And they finally come over there and asked if they could help. And I pointed and I said, I want that one. They said, well, sir, that's... I said, I don't care how much it is. I said, I want that one. And he rang it up and I was like, gosh, dang. I was like, all right. And, you know, and she likes diamonds, so usually I just stick with that. That's the easiest way.
Pretty easy gift, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't really worry about them getting me anything.
Yeah.
I try to take care of them. I don't need anything. I get to work bulls every day of my life, so.
Right. Yeah, like I said, you got people around you that, and if you need something, you go get it. If not, it's there. Does anything stand out for you as a kid that you had for Christmas or a birthday?
Man, as many concussions as I had, it's hard to remember when I was little. You know, I can't remember exactly. They always had things.
Yeah.
I remember they bought me a dirt bike for Christmas one year. And they gave it to me if I wouldn't ride bulls.
Okay.
We sold the dirt bike. They tried to bribe
only
me.
in your world, right? Would they give a kid
Yeah.
a dirt bike versus, you know, this is safer for you. A dirt bike is safer for you than a
And
bull.
I was way worse on a dirt bike than I was on bull.
Yeah.
I never wore a helmet, never had anything.
Well, bull just goes like kind of around in circles and sort of stays around. The dirt bike, you go wherever you want to go at 80, 90 miles an hour.
Yeah. We sold the dirt bike because I was like, I'm not
Yeah.
going to quit riding bulls. I was young, I was about 13. And then when I got older, I had dirt bikes of my own, and I'd pin bulls with it. And I'd get a little sketchy every once in a while.
Yeah.
I've had a few bulls take the dirt bike away from me.
Has Jag got a little bike yet?
He's got a four-wheeler and a go-kart.
Okay. No dirt bike yet.
Not yet.
No.
You know, I never had one until I was
Yeah.
13, 14 years old when I was bigger. So I let him ride that four-wheeler. My wife hates four-wheelers, hates everything because a lot of her friends and people she's known wreck four-wheelers. I mean, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Samantha, what, you going to put him in a bubble?
Yeah.
And like, I mean, he's going to get hurt. I already know. He's pretty tough already, so let him go.
Yeah,
I said, I did when I was young. And he's pretty good. Like, he listens to me pretty good when he's riding things like that. Like, I can turn him loose on that four-wheeler, and he'll just ease around there.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't turn fast. You'll flip that
You're
thing.
going to roll it, yeah.
And he'll ride around.
Last question. My day job is real estate. If you were to build your dream house today, with all the money in the world, whatever you wanted to do, wherever you wanted to be, what does your dream house look like? And if you already have it, tell me about it.
Well, I don't have it, but
Okay.
that'd be my wife's department. You know, the place I bought when I originally bought it just had a single wide on it, and I knew I was going to have to build her a house. I was dreading building a house, and I told her, I said, that's your department. She said, why? I said, I live in that single wide the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I'm never in it. You know, usually I'm gone before daylight, and I don't come back till dark. And then a house in 5 acres came up for sale right by it, brand new. Nobody had ever lived in it.
Yeah.
People that were supposed to buy it backed out. Something happened, so we went and looked at it. I ended up buying it, but where my bulls in my arena, there's 108 acres there. Well, then I have 160 leased behind it.
Okay.
And I told her, I said, the only way I'll build a house over there is if I can get that 160 acres behind it bought. And then I'll put a driveway right through the middle of it, and I'll live in the back where nobody can see me.
Yeah.
And I told her, I said, the designing and doing all that,
That's all you.
I said, that's all you. I said, I want a one-story and a wraparound porch. I said, other than that, it's all you.
Okay.
Because I like sitting on the porch drinking coffee. And I don't like stairs because my knees and my hips so bad. So
Okay.
I'm pretty simple when it comes to that.
How do you take your coffee?
Black.
Really shocked by that answer.
No.
Do we have a specific? Does it matter? It could be truck stop coffee.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's hard to beat a good old truck stop hard coffee and a good truck stop hot dog.
Okay.
I sometimes I try to eat better because of Jagger, but when I'm driving and by myself, then it just goes all to hell. Yeah. And Samantha makes me all this organic coffee
From all over South America?
I don't know.
Probably.
It's complicated. I like the Keurig where you just push the button and you got a cup of coffee. You know, I like the simple push the button, got you a cup of coffee and roll. And she's over there grinding the beans and doing all this. And she's like, well, you can make it yourself, because usually I get up before they do. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing all that. So I stop by a lot of times. If I leave my house, there's a little old country store between my house and my barns. So I stop by there and talk to the farmers and stuff, drink coffee with them.
Oh, I love it. Mate, it's been a pleasure. Excited for you this week, kicking off the season, getting this second year under your belt, and I know this place is going to be packed, screaming, pyro is going to be going, everyone in here is doing their thing, and it's going to be a good season. You guys got more structure this year, and there's one more year under your belt as a coach. So enjoy tonight. I know the speech won't be too long.
No, don't worry.
But enjoy tonight. Congratulations, and wish you all the best for the rest of this weekend and the rest of the season, and hopefully very successful down at the end of the year in Vegas.
That's the plan.
That's the plan, right?
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Hope you guys enjoyed that great episode. Thank you so much for listening. As always, huge shout out to our sponsors, the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, sharing Oklahoma story through its people since 1927. For more information on the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, go to www.oklahomahof.com and follow them on Instagram for daily updates at OklahomaHOF. Our other sponsor, the Chickasaw Nation, amazing sponsor. They do amazing things for the state, and they're always sponsoring something in Oklahoma. They're a huge supporter of Oklahoma, and without their support, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. This episode is brought to you by the Doghouse OKC. Recently, I have been in need of some doggy daycare for my two pups, and the Doghouse have come in clutch. The team over there are incredible. They've taken care of my two golden doodles, and so it's been an honor to partner with them on the podcast and share the love. And adding to that is the Doghouse. And so if you're in need of doggy daycare in the day or boarding overnight, they do grooming and other cool things too, but I've had a fantastic experience, and it's an honor and a privilege to share this with you too. So go to thedogHouseOKC.com and follow them on Instagram at thedogHouseOKC, and hopefully our pups will run into each other.
Thank you for listening. We are inspired by those around us and hope that you are too. Make sure you subscribe to this podcast on your favorite podcast platform and leave us a review so we can keep telling your stories. For more great Oklahoma content, follow This Is Oklahoma on Facebook and Instagram.